The most perilous belief you can hold is that your present situation defines your future possibilities. For over 40 years, guiding countless individuals toward life-changing transformations, I've uncovered a profound truth. The thoughts you consistently nurture shape your tangible reality. This isn't some fluffy idea or wishful thinking. It's rooted in the science of how your brain functions, and it's happening right now as you listen to these words.
The knowledge is power, and the power is in your hands. Subscribe for more power.
Did you know your mind struggles to separate a vividly imagined scenario from an actual event? The same neural pathways activate, the same chemicals surge through your body. Your physical response mirrors the experience. This means, at this very moment, you possess an incredible ability, the power to reshape your reality from within. Stay with me for the next few minutes, and I'll reveal exactly how to harness it. Let me share a story that forever altered my perspective. Decades ago, I found myself penniless, living in a cramped apartment, without a car or any clear path forward. I had every reason to give up. A struggling economy, no college degree, a modest upbringing. But one day, a mentor's words pierced through my despair. Brian, your life isn't shaped by your circumstances, but by the quality of the thoughts you choose to dwell on. That evening, I decided to test this idea. Instead of fixating on my limitations, I began to vividly picture the life I wanted to build. Not vaguely, but with crystal clear details. How I would feel, what I would achieve, how I would make a difference. I wrote down my aspirations with precision and revisited them daily, treating them as if they were already my reality. What happened next? Within 2 years, my life transformed dramatically. Not through luck, but because my thoughts guided my actions. Those actions formed new habits, and those habits constructed a new reality. This isn't random, it's a chain of cause and effect. Your mind operates like a goal-seeking system. When you feed it a clear, precise vision of your desires, it instinctively begins charting a course to make that vision real. It's like setting a GPS for your mind. You input the destination, and it calculates the route. The trouble is, most people program their mental GPS with destinations they don't actually want. They spend their days dwelling on what they fear, obsessing over potential failures, or stressing about problems that haven't even happened. And their mind, being the efficient mechanism it is, guides them straight to those feared outcomes. Have you noticed this pattern in your life? Have you seen how people who constantly complain about their health often feel worse? Or how those who expect setbacks tend to encounter more obstacles? It's not chance. It's the law of cause and effect at work in your mind. Let me break down a key aspect of how your mind operates. You have 2 levels of thought, conscious and subconscious. Your conscious mind is like the driver of a car. It chooses the direction, but your subconscious is the engine, providing the power to get you there. The problem is, most people let their subconscious run on autopilot. They react to life's events, allowing emotions to steer their thoughts and thoughts to drive their actions. It's like driving blindfolded. But once you realize you can consciously direct your thoughts, everything shifts. You suddenly understand you're not a victim of your situation, but the designer of your future. I once worked with a 52-year-old executive who'd lost his job and believed his career was finished. Brian, he told me, at my age, no one will hire me. The job market is brutal, and I lack the latest skills. I asked, "So you've decided your career is over?" He paused, stunned. Then I posed a different question. "If you were certain you'd land a job better than the one you lost, what would you do today?" His demeanor changed instantly. He began speaking with enthusiasm about the steps he'd take, the people he'd contact, the skills he'd build. Within 6 months, he secured a position paying 40% more than his previous role. What changed? Not his age, not the job market, only the quality of his dominant thoughts. This leads to a critical principle for success, the law of expectation. You tend to receive exactly what you anticipate. If you expect positive outcomes, you unconsciously take actions that create them. If you expect difficulties, you behave in ways that invite them. Think about a job interview. If you go in expecting rejection, how do you act? Your posture slumps, your voice wavers, your energy dims. you undermine yourself. But if you approach it expecting success, you exude confidence, ask sharper questions, connect more effectively. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me clarify something important. I'm not advocating for wishful thinking or hoping the universe magically delivers your dreams. I'm talking about something far more practical and potent. When you shift your dominant thoughts, you alter how you perceive the world. When your perception changes, you spot opportunities you previously missed. When you see more opportunities, you act more decisively. When you act more, you achieve better outcomes. When you achieve better outcomes, your confidence soars. When your confidence soars, your thoughts become even more empowering. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of growth. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have endless good fortune while others face constant setbacks? The difference isn't in their external conditions. It's in their internal mental programming. Fortunate people train their minds to seek opportunities. Unlucky people train their minds to dwell on problems. Since your mind is a perfect search engine, it always finds what you're looking for. I once coached a woman who felt her marriage was crumbling after 15 years. "Brian," she said, "my husband isn't affectionate anymore. He barely notices me. I think he's fallen out of love." I asked, "In the past month, how much of your time have you spent thinking about what he doesn't do versus what he does do?" She paused, then admitted, "Probably 90% on what he doesn't do." I gave her a simple task. For 2 weeks every night, she was to write down 3 things her husband did well that day, no matter how small. 2 weeks later, she called, overjoyed. "Brian, I can't believe it. My husband didn't change, but I started noticing all the ways he shows love daily. When I began appreciating those things, he started doing even more." Her focus shifted and her reality followed. This highlights a vital truth. Your mind is always shaping your reality, whether you're aware of it or not. The question isn't whether this process works. It's whether you're using it to empower or limit yourself. Most people unknowingly use this power against themselves. They wake up and immediately check the news, flooding their minds with negativity. They head to work, ruminating on potential problems. They grumble about traffic, criticize others, stress over things beyond their control. By the time they arrive at work, they've programmed their minds to expect stress and find problems. And they do. But imagine transforming that morning routine. Picture waking up and immediately reflecting on 3 things you're truly grateful for. Then, visualize your day unfolding perfectly. Handling challenges with ease, excelling at work, returning home fulfilled. Would your day feel different? Absolutely. Not because your external circumstances changed, but because you reprogrammed your mental framework. I once met a man who built a real estate empire from scratch. His secret? "Brian, every morning before touching my phone or speaking to anyone, I spend 15 minutes picturing my ideal day. I see myself sealing deals, solving problems creatively, motivating my team. It doesn't always unfold exactly as I imagine, but my mind finds ways to make it close." That's intentional mental programming, taking charge of your most powerful tool, your ability to choose your thoughts. But a word of caution, reshaping your thought patterns takes time. Your subconscious has been running on old programs for years, perhaps decades. Rewiring it requires consistency and effort, like building muscle at the gym. One workout won't transform you, but months of steady effort will. Each time you choose an empowering thought over a limiting one, you strengthen your mental muscle. Each time you replace worry with a focus on solutions, you reprogram your inner software. One of the most effective ways to rewire your mind is through vivid affirmations paired with visualization. Not generic phrases, but specific emotionally charged statements that reshape your subconscious. Instead of saying, "I'll be successful someday," say, "I am a confident individual who consistently discovers creative ways to add value and overcome challenges." As you say this, vividly imagine living that reality. Your subconscious responds to specificity, emotion, and repetition, rewiring your brain's circuitry. A cardiovascular surgeon I know uses this approach. Before every major surgery, he spends 10 minutes visualizing each step unfolding flawlessly. Steady hands, sharp decisions, seamless handling of complications. He told me, "Brian, this mental rehearsal has improved my surgical outcomes more than any medical training." Imagine applying this to your life. Before a big presentation, picture yourself speaking with clarity and confidence. Before a tough conversation, see yourself navigating it with wisdom. Your performance will soar, not by magic, but because you've trained your mind to excel. Here's something even deeper. Changing your thoughts doesn't just alter your actions, it transforms who you are at your core. When you shift your identity, you redefine what you believe is possible. Early in my career, I feared public speaking. My identity was, I'm a shy person who gets nervous in front of crowds. Every presentation felt like a struggle, but I decided to rewrite that identity. I started thinking, I am a dynamic speaker who inspires and educates others. At first, my reality didn't match this new identity, but I persisted. I studied speaking techniques, practiced relentlessly, sought more opportunities. My confidence grew, my delivery improved, and within a year, I was addressing thousands with ease. I didn't change my circumstances first. I changed my thoughts, and my circumstances followed. What identity might be holding you back? If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, you'll make poor financial choices. If you view yourself as unathletic, you'll avoid physical activity. But when you adopt a new identity, someone who manages money wisely or lives healthily, you naturally take actions aligned with that identity. This leads to a critical insight. The quality of your life hinges on the questions you ask yourself. Most people ask disempowering questions. Why does this always happen to me? Why am I so unlucky? Their minds, like perfect search engines, provide answers that reinforce those beliefs. But what if you asked, how can I grow from this? What opportunities am I overlooking? How can I add more value? Your mind will find entirely different answers, leading to different actions and results. I once coached an entrepreneur whose business was collapsing. She was consumed by questions like, why is this happening to me? Am I not cut out for this? I told her, those questions lead to defeat. Try these instead. What can I learn from this? How can I strengthen my business? What new possibilities have emerged? Her focus shifted. Instead of dwelling on lost clients, she improved service for existing ones. Instead of seeing the crisis as failure, she viewed it as feedback. Within 6 months, her business was thriving. The circumstances didn't change, her questions did. Here's a powerful technique to reprogram your mind, the mental movie method. Each night, before sleep, instead of replaying the day's stresses, create a vivid mental film of your ideal tomorrow. See yourself waking with energy, tackling challenges with confidence, connecting meaningfully with others, ending the day fulfilled. Infuse this vision with emotion. Feel the joy, pride, and accomplishment. Your subconscious can't distinguish this imagined experience from reality, so it begins aligning your actions to match that vision. People who have used this technique report stronger relationships, higher productivity, and greater life satisfaction. Successful people practice what I call selective reality. They don't ignore problems, but they focus most of their mental energy on opportunities and solutions. Average people do the opposite, spending most of their time dwelling on problems. A mentor once told me, Brian, every situation has 3 realities: problems, possibilities, and opportunities. Most people live in the reality of problems. Successful people live in the reality of opportunities. Choosing where to direct your mental energy shapes your actions and results. Another transformative concept is acting as if. To become the person you aspire to be, start behaving like that person now. If you want to be prosperous, make daily decisions as a prosperous person would. Dress sharply, organize your space, value your time. If you want to be healthy, make choices a healthy person would make. Eat well, move often. A woman I coached wanted to start a business but felt unqualified. I told her to act as if she were already an entrepreneur, join business groups, read industry books, speak with authority. Within 6 months, she launched a successful venture, not by waiting to feel ready, but by acting ready. Finally, embrace the law of deliberate creation. Consciously direct your thoughts to shape your reality with 3 elements. Clarity, know exactly what you want. Intensity, infuse your thoughts with emotion. And persistence, maintain those thoughts over time. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the person who naturally produces those results. When you align your internal reality, the external follows effortlessly. You hold an extraordinary power within your mind right now. It's not distant or costly. It's your ability to choose your thoughts. Will you harness it or let it slip away? Each moment you don't consciously direct your thoughts, you're creating your reality by default. If this message stirs something in you, that's your inner voice urging you to step up. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Act now. Tomorrow, you can wake up and fall back into old patterns, or you can choose thoughts that build the extraordinary life you deserve. To keep learning tools like these, subscribe to this channel and enable notifications. I'm dedicated to sharing strategies that unlock your potential, drawn from decades of helping people like you achieve greatness. You're here for a reason. You have untapped potential waiting to be unleashed. The only question is, when will you choose to claim it? Decide today. Act now.